One of the most common problems in modding is when the rotating bezel does not rotate properly or is too tight and you need to reinstall it. This video will show you how to remove a rotating bezel using unconventional tools. Why are we using made-up tools? Because commercial tools common to the market rarely does the trick of removing tight bezels. First, we got a blade from a hacksaw that was filed thinly to penetrate the gap between the case and the bezel. Then, we will also use a thin cake knife. Look for a space or a gap in the bezel that the blade can fit into. A very thin, sturdy blade is necessary to avoid scratches to the case, especially if it's a colored one such as this. Carefully depress the blade in the middle of the bezel gap to try to lever it to rise. Once you successfully depress the blade to the gap, this can make a way for you to move the blade to the circumference of the bezel and case, creating more gap around. But do not pry. Just depress the blade around the bezel and avoid hitting the spring click. If the bezel is too tight, we can use a mini hammer to depress the blade. Once you made a significant gap between the bezel and the case, you can now use the cake knife to pry the bezel out. The bezel is now out. When the bezel is that tight, scratches cannot be avoided. But if done correctly, scratches will only be at the bottom of the bezel and will not be visible once you reinstalled it. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.